Gue capek ya denger Gen X yang sering banget mengeluhkan tentang Gen Z yang, Gen Z begini, dulu zaman gue, ya udah gak di zaman lo lagi, lo udah tua gitu loh. Kadang tuh menurut gue ya.
Thanks Nas.
Iya.
Aku curiga.
Kenapa?
Karena anak Gen Z itu mungkin karena kebanyakan pilihan.
Iya.
Akan ada yang namanya choice paralysis.
Iya, benar.
Karena kebanyakan pilihan, mereka tuh jadi bingung. Aku sebelah kasihan.
But you know how funny I saw like content creator nowadays. They're like, don't even think about your content. Just turn on your camera and then just edit for 5 seconds, and that's gonna go, viral. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like brushing my teeth. I can go viral, definitely.
Yeah.
Show my teeth.
Yeah.
I'm viral.
Brush your
I'm
teeth with
going to be
cheese or
wealthy
something.
Witch. I'm like, what kind of a life is that? Mom, why was I born in 1984?
It's just instant. Everything is instant now.
Iya.
Hello, viewers. Welcome back to another episode of In Her View, a safe space for women to talk about anything and everything. And as always, we have an exciting episode today, and I'm joined by my girls here. We've got Caroline.
Good morning.
Good morning, Marissa and her dance.
Good morning.
There we go. Shahnaz, good morning. And of course, Kai.
Hello, good morning.
And we're all dressed quite corporate today.
Yeah.
For me. Marissa is a startup founder. That's what we're cosplaying to be as today. But yes, because we're dressed like this, we'll be talking about intergenerational work ethic today, ladies.
Oh.
Yes, we've got 5 ambitious women here gonna talk about our style of work. But before we drop down to all the different work styles, I would like to know what you think your work style is.
I'll start.
Okay.
I'm very loyal in a way that when I put myself or I'm already committed to one institution, I will do my utmost best. I mean, I've worked in a place where before that we have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, right? And again, there are so many activities that we need to do every day. There are no days that I've felt that I'm tired. Like I'm really grateful every day to work in the morning and whatnot.
Yeah.
And to deliver my best, even though at the end, work is work, right? At the end of the day, business is business. There's no loyalty in that. And that's okay. And that's part of life. But I think in a way, that's what I've been showing through my career, that I'm, whoever I work with or what institution I work with, I'll give my loyalty and I give my best, 1,000%. Sometimes it's even more than to my significant other.
We're
going there.
She's that loyal to her career. Okay,
But I'm not
loyalty.
working for him, so I'm gonna be loyal to you, honey. So.
More loyal.
Wow.
2 birds, 1 stone. Loyalty for Carol. Okay, Marissa.
Ya, well kayaknya aku satu generasi kan sama Caroline.
The same decade. But.
Jadi aku bisa relate sama apa yang Caroline bilang tadi. Ada loyalitas. Bener sih, Kay. Kalau misalnya dipikirin dari karir pertamaku sebagai jurnalis itu, aku pernah kerja untuk 3 perusahaan dari tahun 2008 ya. 3 perusahaan aja gitu loh, nggak loncat-loncat karena ya itu tadi. Aku ngerasa mungkin aku datang dari generasi yang ngerasa bahwa cari kerjaan itu susah. Zaman kita dulu ya kan, waktu ngelamar kerja tuh kayak aduh dapat nggak ya. Jadi mungkin aku masih stuck di mindset itu. So freelancer itu ternyata satu moda bekerja yang ternyata cocok gitu ya. Karena aku suka banget kerja sama siapapun. Kenal banyak orang, nggak cuma kenal sebagai kolega gitu ya, tapi kalau misalnya bisa kenal sebagai manusia gitu, sebagai manusia yang dimana kita bisa terkoneksi, that'd be awesome. So that's my work. That's my work style.
That's awesome. Shahnaz.
Me?
You.
Kayaknya when it comes to work style, I think I'm somewhat of an artist inside tetap. Karena organik sekali buat gue work style gue, dan sangat gue tuh dibilang gak punya loyalty, enggak. I'm very much disciplined. Ketika gue melakukan sesuatu pasti wholeheartedly. Tapi loyalty pada perusahaan kayaknya none. I have none.
Kenapa tuh Syaz?
Karena bukan non ya, gue bakal sangat menghormati semua keputusan perusahaan dan lain-lain. Tapi I work for myself. Selalu gue mikirnya gitu.
Loyal to yourself.
Loyal to myself. Komitmen gue hanya kepada diri gue. Gue akan memberikan yang terbaik karena gue mau karir gue baik gitu. Dan gue gak mau ada orang ngomongin gue gak bisa kerja lah ini itu gitu. Jadi loyalty gue pada diri gue. Tapi ketika gue bekerja di satu perusahaan dan gue merasa no, this is not for me, I'm out. Kayak langsung at that moment kayak gue langsung no, this is not the right place.
I mean, because not everyone can have that, but it's good that you have that kind of value.
That stance,
Dan itu sih gue kayaknya value gue yang masalah itu gak bisa diutak-atik ya. Gue gak pernah bisa bekerja di tempat yang gue tidak merasa nyaman.
Iya banget ya
kayak pasti caw kalau emang ada sesuatu yang mengganggu gitu. Jadi my loyalty is to myself and my son.
Love that. Yeah, so you wouldn't be sacrificing. You know how some people, they would stick it out. They would sacrifice their own well-being for the sake of
Tapi
staying in one
biasanya
place.
mungkin itu terjadi karena ini KB. Karena dia belum tahu sebetulnya apa yang dia mau. Karena ada kebingungan itu, jadi ya udahlah yang ada ini udahlah jalanin aja lah daripada nggak ada sama sekali gitu. That's my theory. I may be wrong.
Or in a time that is very hard right now to find jobs because there's still a lot of people. I mean, in the present days, there's a lot of people that has been laid off. I mean, we are very grateful that we're sitting in this table, that we do something that we love, that we're passionate about, and it feels like fun. But for some people out there, they need to be at their job, let's say in a factory, because they need to provide for their family. I mean, if they have the chance like us, they would probably do something that would be, that comes from the heart. But that is something that it's life. You need money to put the food on the table, so you'll do anything about it.
Yeah, I agree. Kai?
Gue kayaknya lebih, I'm closer to Shahnaz and I feel like I've been very lucky because I've been in different types of corporates and offices gitu ya. Tapi when it comes to work environment, I think that's number one for me. Gitu. Karena my loyalty first and foremost is to my health because as we mentioned in hustle culture before, I went through that phase where I gave everything to my loyalty due to loyalty and professionalism and sacrificing my health for it. And from then on, it's been 10 years and kalau dipikir-pikir sebenarnya loyalitas terhadap perusahaan yang gue kerjain juga iya sih ada loyalitasnya gitu. Itu tapi karena mereka memberikan gue kenyamanan gitu loh. Mereka memberikan gue flexibility dan mereka memberikan gue network yang sangat luar biasa. Dan gue it's like kalau gue merasa tidak nyaman di situ iya memang gitu loh. I will think about okay, this is probably not healthy for me, but I also sometimes have to think about, okay, memungkinkan gak kira-kira kalau gue step out sekarang gitu kan. But it is, iya benar. Tapi yang buat gue adalah work ethic, work style, right? You asked.
Yes.
Other than first and foremost my health, and second for me professionalism is really really just key.
Oh, profesionalisme. Definisimu itu apa?
Kalau buat gue tuh professionalism means that okay, you know what you came in to do.
Yeah.
And they know, so you already know what you came in to do. You know how your specific value can contribute to that gitu kan. Dan lo akan memberikan yang terbaik in terms of that gitu kan. Dan the best thing about this particular job is it's you come, you finish, and you leave.
No homework. Well, just a bit of homework.
Tapi soalnya I realize that it's very difficult for me to be able to work in an environment where I have to be there and work needs to be taken home sometimes gitu. Jadi ada batasannya gitu loh. So I think what Marissa says is also really important is that you know yourself first. Kira-kira gimana sih lo lo bisa kontribusi apa? What are your strengths and weaknesses? And then once you find what works for you, hopefully,
Tapi betul loh untuk nyambung apa yang Kai bilang tadi, strength and weaknesses, kekuatan dan kelemahan kita. Jadi aku tuh sekitar sebulan lalu tuh I took a test. Aku ambil tes character strength namanya. Nanti mungkin kita kasih juga ya di bawah tuh di YouTube linknya. Kita itu akan ngerasa fulfilled atau ngerasa puas melakukan pekerjaan ketika pekerjaan yang kita lakukan itu atau apapun yang kita lakukan itu sesuai dengan character strength atau kekuatan kita, kekuatan karakter kita. Misalnya ada yang orang yang kekuatan karakternya tuh nomor satunya tuh ternyata judgment. Judgment ini dalam arti yang positif ya. Judgment karena dia bisa melihat berbagai sisi. Nah, kira-kira profesi apa yang cocok sama itu? Jurnalisme misalnya, right? Jadi semakin kita mengenal diri, kita tahu kekuatan kelemahan kita, itu bisa membantu kita untuk nyari sebenarnya kerjaan apa yang paling cocok sama gue, sehingga gue punya resilience, sehingga gue nggak loncat-loncat gitu, karena gue tahu apa yang gue mau.
That's a very
What about
good
you though,
point.
KB? Your work style?
I think I would probably go with Shahnaz and Kai the most. I think my work and what I do really affects my well-being in the sense where if I don't like it, it's really easy for me to get just depressed about it. I have to like what I do for me to have that grit. Because if I don't like what I do, then I'm just kind of like, you know what? I'm just coming here to do what I have to, and then I leave, and that's it. I don't have any motivation.
Like you didn't gain anything from
I
this,
have
right?
no motivation to do my best. I'm just here to do my mediocre effort, and that's it. That's
You're
enough.
waiting for the paycheck at the end of the month, right?
Exactly.
I mean, some people do that. And sometimes it's frustrating, right? When
is.
you're already
And
doing
it
your
goes-
homework and then
yeah.
you have someone who's like, you're just there. I'm like, okay, good thing I'm already 40 in the way like I don't confront the person. But dude, if I was younger, I'm like, if we're in the same desk as me and we're doing this, I don't want you guys a partner.
Ini
I love
alasan
what I'm
kenapa
doing
banyak yang takut sama Caroline Soerachmat. Ini menjelaskan loh.
I mean, thank God you
explains
met
it.
me when I'm like this age.
It's like, it makes sense now.
I mean, like, yeah.
If you can't meet her fire, you don't sit there.
That's true. That's really good, Kai. So yeah, I think for me, it really goes back to just loving
Yeah.
what you do.
Tuh, karena grit yang kamu bilang tadi, KB.
And it's-
grit itu lo harus suka.
Yes.
Kalau lo nggak suka, lo pasti kena tantangan dikit tuh langsung, oh udahlah, nggak bisa lah, udahlah gue nggak suka, cabut gitu.
Sih,
kan.
Iya sih, tapi gue juga melihat sebagai gue karena gue professionally working as a freelancer di mana-mana gitu ya. Gue jadi melihat banyak pekerjaan tuh yang iya gue having fun di pekerjaan yang ini, yang di sini gue nyari duit, yang di sini gue networking, gue tuh begitu ngelihatnya. Jadi semuanya tuh ada porsinya masing-masing. Bukannya gue gak akan memberikan 100% ke semuanya ya, tapi gue jadi bisa menakar seberapa banyak gue bisa memberi dan invested ke dalam pekerjaan itu.
Yeah, no.
As long as everyone in the same frequency, right? Like to understand each other
Exactly. And
flaws
balance, right? As long as
Yeah.
you're still there to do what you're supposed
Yeah.
to do, then
Yeah.
Kai, do you want to say something?
I was just saying, because a lot of people don't have the luxury of, finding grit because they love something, you know what I mean? I think perseverance and grit is something that you unfortunately grow up with.
Bisa jadi.
Iya, karena kayak, you know the times where, even though you love what you're doing or you may or may not love what you're doing, tapi jam terbang is jam terbang gitu kan.
Experiences, yeah.
Iya kan? Experience is experience gitu. Dan when you pay your dues in the beginning, right? When I think about, yes, I do love what I do and I fought through it gitu. Tapi gimana ya ngomongnya? Gue merasa kayak if you say that grit is just based on you do something you love, bukannya kayak kadang-kadang tuh kita harus gak sih punya juga a way to self-motivate ourselves when things are not as ideal as we wish it would be gitu. Nah itu yang gue merasa tuh, this is what annoys me when I work with people who do not have that gitu. Kayak, don't come into this work, into this space and be all mediocre when you know that everyone is trying to be professional.
Right.
Like I may or may not feel my 100% best at this moment gitu.
right.
Atau gue mungkin passionnya gak lagi berapi-api banget gitu. But what Carol is saying is like kayak gue udah masuk nih, and whether it's motivated by love or by what, tapi kayak we have this ability to light a fire that makes us resilient in no matter what professional environment you put in gitu kan.
It goes back to professionalism, what you were saying, right?
Tapi kira-kira ini gak sih ladies, misalnya ya, kita tuh generasi milenial dan di sini ada yang generasi Z gak?
No.
She barely touches
Oh kamu Z ya? Kamu Z Z sayang, kamu Z tua ya?
Iya.
Oh iya. Apa mungkin karena waktu zaman kita itu gak terlalu banyak pilihan kali ya? Ingat gak waktu dulu kita suruh ngisi album terus cita-citanya apa? Paling standar dokter, polisi, astronot ya kan?
Dokter hewan aku.
Kalau sekarang tuh kayak apakah karena kebanyakan pilihan jadi ada aja orang-orang yang kayak mungkin gue nyoba ini kali ya, enggak cocok. Gue nyoba ini kali ya, enggak cocok. Jadi
Have the luxury gitu ya.
Iya.
Dan
Untuk
bisa
kayak, coba sana sini ya.
What do you
duit
ladies
dari semua
think, right?
tempat.
Yeah.
I felt it's just because there's just so many, right now platforms that you are, like you said, Kai, you have the luxury to try it here and there. I mean, in our time, at that time, like
Nggak ada.
and you have to you not fight, but at least you have to, to show the best out of yourself, your best quality, because other people is lining up.
Yep, exactly.
If you're not doing a good job,
someone else is gonna
you,
take
buddy.
your place.
So there's no time for you to be feeling down
Exactly.
and whatnot. You have to be on the A game. It gives you burnout, but I felt like that gives you self-motivation every day
Yes.
that you should be better. You could be better because you're afraid that if you're lacking,
Someone's
step
gonna
aside
replace
because someone's
you in
going to
a
replace
second.
you, and that happens.
Yeah, I mean, and growing up, right, we were taught, even in school when I was 16, you got to get your grades up so you can do your internship this summer. It's going to get you to a good college and then it's going to get you a good job after. And I feel like nowadays, I was talking to my nieces and nephews, they're like, oh yeah, you could just be a content creator now. Just go on YouTube. Why would you want to work at an office? It's just so that mentality is just super different to when we were growing up and how we were brought up.
By
we
the
were
way, I really want to be a part of this.
yeah.
Though. I would want to be
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
We are a part of this. Are we doing this right now? Content.
But to have that mentality of just being chill. Because with me, what will happen is this happened because something that happened before, right? Not just
You
because
built it.
we built this, right?
Yeah.
We initiate this because something had happened prior.
Exactly.
Not just because, hey, I don't feel like I want to do it anymore. I don't want to work with other people. I want to work for myself, so I'm going to do this right
Exactly.
now. I don't have that luxury.
Tapi balik lagi karakter, oke? Ya kan?
Yeah.
Kayaknya
But I feel
karakter
like nowadays
masing-masing.
still it's like that. They're they won't be afraid. Okay, they don't like me. There's other companies.
Oh yeah.
So speaking from personal experience, it sounds very personal. Is there a story you want to share?
This generation have that luxury.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because there's
Yeah.
just so many things to do.
That's true.
Even just going to the topic of being content creators, right? It's not an easy job. You also have to have the grit and resilience because it doesn't happen overnight.
Mengorbankan kehidupan pribadi.
Yes.
Bener.
Kadang
Membuka.
kan
Privacy. Yeah.
But you know how funny I saw content creator nowadays? They're don't even think about your content. Just turn on your camera and then just edit for 5 seconds and that's gonna go, viral. And I'm like, okay. So I'm brushing my teeth. I can go viral, definitely. Show my teeth.
Yeah.
I'm viral.
Brush your teeth
I'm
with
going to be
cheese or
wealthy
something.
witch. What kind of a life is that? Mom, why was I born in 1984?
It's just instant. Everything is instant now.
Yeah.
But
Tapi ada plus dan minus.
Yeah, ada plus
Pros
and
and
cons.
cons.
Tapi
of course, but-
kita antar generasi tuh apa sih? Kita kalau nggak salah ada datanya.
Yes,
kayak
no,
begini.
I was just going to get into
I'm
it.
just curious,
So
yeah.
based on your answers, actually, Caroline and Marissa, you're closer to a millennial.
Yes,
Oh,
betul.
excuse me, sorry. Closer to a Gen X.
Bohong kamu kayak
Than
gitu.
a millennial.
Because you're elder millennial.
We are the
We're
true
the young
millennial.
Coba apa kalau Gen X?
Sorry.
And she's borderline Gen Z.
Oh my God.
I'm going to read out the key traits of
Okay, yes,
Gen
please do.
X.
Okay.
This doesn't apply to
That's
Gen
us.
X.
Yeah.
That's us.
For you guys, and you tell me if it's
Thank
true
you.
or not. Independence.
Ya.
Yep. Adaptability.
Iya sih, kita masih ya.
Loyalty.
Ya.
Loyalty and
What
royalty.
you mentioned.
Inside my DNA.
And this is an interesting one, work-life balance, because this is how I define it, right? When it comes to
Kamu Z, kan?
Gen X.
Kamu Gen Z?
No, I'm millennial.
Millennial.
But for the Gen X, and I look at my parents for this, right? Gen X's. Work-life
Your parent
balance.
is a Gen X?
My mom is.
Your mom is. Okay.
Yes. But
I'm in the same generation as my mom. Hey, Mom, we're sisters.
Apparently.
I know.
Love that. Where was I? Yes.
Your mom.
Work-life balance. Well, I think their definition of work-life balance is more so, okay, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, past 5 o'clock, we go back home to be with our families, to have our time. Don't disturb us on weekends.
That's me.
Yeah, that's me too.
That is balance. That is work-life balance. Okay, so it is true.
Working on the weekdays only.
Yeah.
Weekends is
9 to 5.
That's your boundaries
Iya,
of balance.
Setelah jam 5 aku nggak reply WhatsApp tentang kerjaan.
That's good. Not like that.
Girl, you reply work at 12 a.m.
I mean, it's closer to Mbak Mar. I'm 1984. Mbak Mar's
1983.
Don't wake me up after 10,
You're
by the way.
practically the same age.
We are.
Literally.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm gonna shift over. Well, you guys are
You guys.
technically
Yeah.
millennials.
To millennials.
Because it starts from 1981 to 1996, which is my year, so I'm the last.
You're
I'm on the
closer to Gen Z.
cusp. Yeah, but I feel like I grew up with the ethics of a millennial.
That's true.
So, tech savvy. I feel like we're pretty good at that, right? Collaboration oriented, which is true because we love working with others. Desire for flexibility.
Oh
This
yeah.
is true. And purpose driven.
Yes.
Yeah.
On
point.
Yeah.
Yes.
On point.
Aku sama Carol masih tetap masuk kategori itu ya.
Yeah. It's 1981,
Still.
by the way, but I'm
The
not
loyalty that I don't have.
It's the tech savvy that
It's
it's like
strict
nah.
loyalty.
Yeah. It's we're getting there.
Driven, yeah.
Because
We are
we're starting to see
purpose-driven.
the transitional changes, right?
Yes.
I think with the technology coming in, I think the landline.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember
Anyone
those.
know what the landline is? Go on.
Karena emang gue juga merasa begitu waktu gue masuk ke dalam suatu perusahaan nih ya, memulai karir gue. Saat itu budayanya beda banget dan mereka kayaknya baru kali itu ketemu orang-orang seperti kami. Millennials yang memang loyaltinya nihil terhadap sesuatu yang kita tidak anggap itu reasonable gitu. Jadi kita tuh nggak bisa kayak lo ngasih tahu lo harus begini. Ya alasannya apa? Gitu kan?
You ask why.
I ask, kenapa gitu, kenapa gue harus begini? Karena ya dari dulu juga begitu, nggak bisa gue terima hal itu gitu. Jadi mereka juga kayaknya baru saat itu mungkin baru tahu ya, oh ternyata millennials tuh kayak gini.
Tapi gue inget banget ya waktu kita pertama kali, like about 10 years ago kan.
Di mana nih?
Generasi-
Yang mana nih?
Emang kan sama gue generasi yang sama bro. Jadi kita tuh 10 tahun yang lalu tuh gue inget banget. Oh kan orang-orang heboh, generasi milenial nih, generasi milenial. Kita tuh dianggap rebel.
Banget.
Karena kita bisa talk back. Kayak yang tadi Shahnaz bilang, kalau misalnya gak masuk akal buat gue boleh dong gue ngomong
nanya,
gitu. Tapi Gen X mungkin kayak, lo apa ini, I don't like.
They're not used to
Asking
it.
the reasons. You were asking the reasons.
Critically
They're
thinking,
like,
yeah.
it's in the manual book.
Bener. Dan menurut mereka tuh kayak ya lo harusnya loyal dong sama gue. Lo kan udah kerja sama gue. Loh kalau lo
Based on what?
Nah kalau gue kerja sama lo ya lo juga harus ngasih bagian lo dong ke gue. Gitu dong. Gak kayak maksudnya kita kan kerja professionally ya. Bukan berarti gue akan memberikan semuanya kepada lo juga gitu. I have my own life gitu.
Yeah. That's
Jadi,
why. Sorry.
jadi itu menyebalkan buat gue saat gue masuk pertama-pertama ya. Tapi sekarang kan memang sudah shifting ya. Semuanya udah
To
berubah.
Gen X.
Dan mereka tahu
Gen Z.
nih tidak bisa memperlakukan millennials seperti mereka memperlakukan Gen X ya kan.
I think the purpose driven is especially highlighted here for what you just said, making sure that their work is meaningful to their values. That's really important. And I guess it pushes the loyalty to an extent, right? Okay, I'm loyal to you,
in a
but I'm
way,
more loyal to myself.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true.
That's important. All right, Gen Zs. Ooh.
None of us in this category, but it's all right.
Are you close enough?
I know.
KB yang paling deket.
Close enough.
You're
but
1996.
The last year of the millennium.
you're
the year
there.
before Gen Zs. But
All right.
it's really interesting because I've never actually encountered working with Gen Zs.
Really?
Yes. So I've only heard stories. And for all you Gen Z viewers, you can tell us if this is right or wrong because neither of us here can clarify whether it's right or wrong. We're
But
only.
we do have a Gen Z
second-
though before in a place we worked before.
Oh, we do. Oh, yes, that's right. I
did.
wasn't the baby
You were
for
not
a
the
while.
youngest.
No.
Someone else was take your
Yes,
shoes.
I remember that. So let's see if these key traits actually align with that person.
Okay. Or the person in that generation. Let's go.
The person in that generation, tech native problem solvers.
Yeah.
Ya betul banget. Mereka tuh pinter banget. Dan itu cepet tak.
Have you
So easy
seen
to
KB on her laptop?
With her nails.
Stuff that I would need an hour, she finishes in 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Boom.
Yeah.
I guess that's where I can relate.
So we're tech savvy.
My nails.
We're the
You're part of the
transitional
game.
tech savvy. Manual to automated. But she like fully automated. She artificial.
I am AI.
We're like automated. She artificial.
Okay, next one. Collaborative approach. So they do like to collaborate like millennials, but I think they're more into teamwork. See, this is interesting. So I was speaking to my niece who's currently still in college, and she was complaining that she had a group work for an assignment, but everyone was so dependent on each other that no one wanted to do anything.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
That's possible?
So there's no leader.
How?
there's no leader because everyone's just like, you're gonna do it, right? Yeah.
Wah itu mah gak mau ngambil tanggung jawab sih kayak gini.
Yeah, so okay, to an extent, could we say somewhat irresponsible? When it comes to accountability.
Accountability.
So that's an interesting one. Work-life balance. Okay, see, this was also mentioned for Gen X's, but I think there's a difference here. Whereas Gen X's were setting boundaries between work and life and saying, okay, when I'm at the office 9 to 5, I will be there and work my ass off. But once it's 5 o'clock, I'm out. Don't disturb me.
Yeah.
Whereas Gen Zs, I feel like have it the other way around. They're like, okay, I'll work at 12 o'clock at night, but if I want to go, to a Pilates class at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday, then no one...
2 p.m. you mean?
Sorry, 2 p.m. or 2 a.m., whichever works.
Night owl.
Yeah.
Then no one disturb me.
Yeah.
Even though it's technically working hours.
Yeah.
I'll just go to the office when I feel like it. 11 a.m., sure. It's 1 hour to lunchtime. And then it's break time. Right. So interesting definition of work-life
Menarik
balance
sih.
there.
Tapi juga
Any work-life balance?
We do. Because we choose the work that we want to do. Otherwise, we don't do anything.
So
no.
we're still kind of like Gen X-ish work-life balance.
lebih mungkin
Kita masih
definisinya
lebih-
kali ya. Definisi dari masing-masing generasi tentang
Beda-beda.
work-life balance tuh beda-beda gitu. Biasanya yang bikin frustrasi antar generasi adalah ketika satu generasi itu tetap mau kekeh megang work style-nya masing-masing. Gue tuh punya temen yang dia tuh sebenarnya orang Gen X. Tapi dia staffnya itu kebanyakan adalah millennials dan juga Gen Z gitu. Dan dia bilang meskipun dia dari Gen X, dia bilang sebenarnya di kantor gue itu ya staff itu gak selalu ada 9 to 5. Tapi pokoknya gue pengennya adalah selama target yang sudah kita sepakati itu terpenuhi, gue gak peduli deh. Lu mau kerja di kafe, lu mau kerja di kasur, as long as you deliver, it's okay gitu. So that's why akhirnya tidak ada ketegangan antara generasi itu dan satu korporasi itu tetap bisa bekerja sama and it's effective.
Ya, dan itu leader yang baik. Kadang kan soalnya kita dengarnya tuh selalu gini, zaman gue dulu gak kayak gitu. Zaman
there's a mutual understanding.
Menurut gue juga, gue capek ya denger Gen X yang sering banget mengeluhkan tentang Gen Z yang, Gen Z begini, dulu zaman gue, ya udah gak di zaman lo lagi, lo udah tua gitu loh. Kadang tuh menurut gue ya.
Thanks, Nas.
Iya.
We're only a couple years different.
I mean sometimes ya udah you have to adapt as well gitu loh. Lo juga gak boleh kayak bilang gue tuh gak bisa adaptasi, gue tuh emang loyal sama perusahaan gue. No, sekarang udah berubah gitu, udah gak kayak gitu lagi dan jangan mengeluhkan terus. How to collaborate itu kan sebenarnya pertanyaannya. How to collaborate.
Tapi gimana kalau misalnya yang gue denger ya, banyak komplain kanan kiri temen gue sih gitu, yang kadang-kadang staffnya, maaf nih Gen Z gitu ya, tiba-tiba ngilang aja gitu.
Oh iya.
Without any
Kalau itu
word
nggak bisa dikeluhin sih, itu bisanya didoain supaya dia
No, I
insaf.
think like in our generation we're much more responsible because we know how life that time we only have phone lines. I mean landline phones. We don't have at that time only that one specific brand that has like a snake ladder game on it, right?
You have
but
fax,
now
though.
you have
yellow.
beepers and whatnot. But like. Of course, we don't see any like technology was still, I think, it's still on the, it's like a sun rising at that moment. We don't have all the what we have right now.
Well, tapi kayak kenapa ya tiba-tiba suka ngilang gitu.
Iya, aku mentalnya kena Kak.
Nah itu loh.
Kalau kita tuh masih ada rasa segen gak sih?
Ya.
Kalau menurut gue tuh itu deh.
Respect sih, respect.
Integrity
and respect is, I think may have a different definition. Kayak kalau Gen X sama millennial, karena we were raised by millennial, by Gen X kan. Jadi kita tuh masih kedapetan ini.
Ya masih bisa dimarahin.
Masih bisa dimarahin.
Dimarahin tuh kita tuh kayak ya kesel ya. Gue inget banget waktu itu gue pernah dimarahin sama produser.
Oke.
Tapi akhirnya gue kayak ya udah sebel gue dimarahin, sebel banget. Tapi ya udah next, ya udah I'll do better.
As long as we know that we're at fault.
Iya.
If we're at fault, then you can,
Dan kayaknya yang harus di know tuh saat lo bekerja ya pasti ada stresnya. Gitu loh. Gak mungkin kayak lo kerja tapi lo gak stres sama sekali
Nah
gitu.
itu maksud gue tadi, yang
Pasti
grit
ada.
itu gitu loh. Do you think it has something to do with perseverance and grit when you say gitu kan. Kalau, cause I feel like accountability sama itu tuh kayak self motivation tuh penting banget gitu. How do we have the ability to light a fire when we need to, tapi ternyata gak semua orang tuh, gak semua orang tuh bisa gitu. Especially this younger generation.
Because everything is there out in the open, the answers.
And we have to look
you,
gitu ya.
my son, there's a project, all you have to do is Google. I was like, dude, my time, I gotta read 10 books to find this
that's
specific
true.
one question, right? To find the answer. Then they just Google it.
Jadi maksudnya karena sekarang semuanya itu gampang, grit atau resilience itu jadi melemah.
Wait, so what is grit? Everyone like
Melon.
we have that
Our producer.
courage and resolve, strength of character.
Yeah.
That's all being questioned because it's
Grit
in the
itself,
dictionary,
small loose particles of stone or sand.
Ya itu grit.
Yeah,
That's gritty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. They can't practice the small things. But I feel like also Gen Zs are fast-paced learners, but I see this more as a con rather than a pro because they just can't be in one place for too long. They're like, okay, fast.
The attention span you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Itu
As
sih,
in, you know what? I've been here for 1 month, still haven't found my purpose, my mojo.
Haven't found my calling.
Dan menurut gue
On to the next one.
passion tuh overrated sebenarnya.
Oh menarik.
Iya dong.
Maksudnya bagaimana Syaz? Karena aku opposite. Silakan.
Kalau menurut aku soalnya gini loh, kalau kita ngomongin happiness gitu ya, kan ya udah you need to look for your passion. Iya. Tapi bukan itu satu-satunya dong. Iya dong. Tapi kan zaman sekarang tuh kayak you have to find it gitu. If you don't find your passion, kayak misalnya lo spend 1-2 bulan di satu tempat terus I'm not passionate enough in this field. Kayak udah gue ciao gitu.
Itu yang terjadi.
Itu banyak terjadi kan. I don't feel right gitu. Kayak aduh ini banyak banget dikeluhin ini gitu. Terus cabut gitu. Tapi at the same time menurut gue passion itu kan again ya itu fundamental sebenarnya. Kalau lo udah ketemu passion lo, oke, misalnya gue mau nama gue masuk ke 40 perempuan paling berpengaruh di Indonesia.
Waduh.
Wow.
Yes.
Nah, ya udah berarti kayak maksudnya itu kan lebih general gitu. Jadi menurut gue passion itu iya you need to find it. Tapi
Itu mah goal lah baby.
itu goal ya. Ya jadi gimana?
Passion misalnya kamu.
Oh, iya.
Passion misalnya kamu. kamu kan yang aku tahu tentang kamu ya. Kamu tuh suka banget nulis. Nah, kamu tuh suka banget gambar. Nah, itu kan passion kamu.
Bener, orientasinya jadi ke situ terus kan. Iya, tapi kan maksudnya bukan kayak aku karena pengen nulis nih, terus tiba-tiba aku ketemu redaktur yang ternyata nggak gitu enak gitu, nggak gitu seru. Nggak, aku capek nulis. Kayaknya bukan ini deh, atau kayak gue nggak passionate nih di penerbit ini soalnya menyebalkan gitu.
Oh, berarti sebetulnya
So
itu
it's not
pengertian passionate-nya berarti beda, baby.
loyal ke passion, cuman kayak menurut gue bukan itu satu-satunya.
Oke.
Iya dong.
No.
Passionate iya gitu, tapi kayak
Passion itu cuma jadi api ketika kita menghadapi tantangan dan kita akan maju terus dan itu menghasilkan grit.
Betul. Tapi kalau kayak terus menerus, gue nggak passionate di sini.
Enggak, itu penggunaan yang menurutku keliru. Ya nggak sih? Dalam kalimat itu sebenarnya penggunaannya itu keliru karena sebetulnya dia belum menemukan passion itu sendiri.
Nah, itu maksudnya.
Jadi dia itu pindah-pindah untuk nyari gitu kan. Dia pindah-pindah untuk nyari. Tapi you know the irony that this generation has all the facilities to find out gue tuh menurut tes ini tuh gue tuh bakatnya ke sini. Karena itu semua udah dikasih gitu kan. Every school does that now. When you want to enter gitu kan. Langsung dicek anak ini tuh berbakatnya ke sini. Kayak IPA IPS aja sekarang udah dipilihin based on your skill and strengths gitu kan. Tapi is it given to them? And they're like, kalau kita kan dulu harus mencari gitu kan. Kayak tahun pertama gue harus bisa tahu gue ini mau masuk IPA atau IPS, nilai gue tuh bagus ke yang mana kayak gitu kan. And you fight for it kan. Dan baru lo.
Ya karena pilihannya cuma 2 baby.
bahasa.
Oh ya 3 baby.
Nah, maksudnya kayak we were forced to find it because it was never given to us, right?
Yeah.
So we couldn't afford to like, ini kayak.
Mungkin karena kemudahan itu, jadi
Taken for
fighting
granted.
spiritnya tuh agak melempem.
But you think because they know that they would flourish better, right?
Bisa.
In their own way, surely.
Kalau dia tahu cara menggunakannya. Kayak tadi kamu bilang kan, oh zaman dulu kita mah kagak ada tuh yang namanya character strength assessment apa segala macam, paling ya tes IQ
Jarang
doang
lah ya,
gitu kan.
iya.
Kalau sekarang kan udah tes tuh di mana-mana di internet gitu. Ya sekarang kan pertanyaannya adalah apa yang kita lakukan dari hasil tes itu. Agar kita bisa mengoptimalkan talenta kita untuk mengerjakan sesuatu yang memang kita anggap berarti buat kita. Dan aku curiga ya. Aku curiga.
Kenapa?
Karena anak Gen Z itu mungkin karena kebanyakan pilihan. Akan ada yang namanya choice paralysis.
Iya, benar.
Karena kebanyakan pilihan, mereka tuh jadi bingung. Aku sebelah kasihan. Jadi bingung sebelah aku tuh mau yang mana ya. Udah gitu belum lagi kalau misalnya dia lihat kanan kiri di sosial media. Aduh temanku dia di bidang ini. Nah, mungkin aku harus ke sana kali ya. Jadi ada faktor FOMO, ada faktor kebanyakan pilihan.
That's true.
That is happening, by the way, to my 11-year-old.
Oh ya?
Already at 11 years old.
It's already like that.
Ryan bilang apa?
Like he says, like, Mom, he said that he wants to be a police officer following the footsteps of his father, right? But then and then he's like, but Mom, that's actually not what I want to do. Like, I want to do this and I want to do that, but I'm confused because I don't know, this is because of a first child syndrome and plus, and he's in this generation that he sees a lot of things and he's like, I want to travel, I want to do everything. But he knows, I guess, at the end of the day, because he is the firstborn and he's like, because the second brother's like, I'm definitely not going to be a police. I'm going to be a basketball player in the NBA. He knows it already. So I think my firstborn was the one that's kind of like right now in a confusion moment, but he knows what he has to do because he is the firstborn.
Right.
But again, if we're going to talk about his studies, it's like that though. You know, everything is just so easy for them. For right now, they're doing their last project in 5th grade. He's coding. He's making his own game of overpopulation and overconsumption that is happening in the world. It is mind-blowing for me, and I'm like, wow, how did you do that? And he's like,
see that.
oh yeah, there's a coding class at school because I want to do this for this project. 5 person in the project. One is making games, made her own game of overpopulation, overconsumption. He's making coding games. Someone is doing the research and whatnot. They're 11 years old.
Amazing Gen Z, right?
Wow. Again, Mom, why was I born in 1984?
What were we doing?
At 11. Like, there was no computer at that time.
No.
We would be overwhelmed if we were born
But they are
in
very
2000.
That is something that we've done, I think, in our uni time, but like now
at
they're doing
universitas.
in elementary school.
Wow, they're just taking it back lots of years. I mean, I remember I didn't have a laptop in school, so everything was handwritten. Yeah. See, that's what people think. I'm a Gen Z. No, I still went through all that handwritten. I remember during my exams, with the grandma voice, my hands were just from writing too much. Anyway, I was gonna say something.
Lost train of thought.
Last train of thought.
Yeah, you are millennials. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'll get back to it. It's not as fast.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of office politics, though? Do you think it still happens to this day, or is it just sort of art time?
It's
Art
you.
time.
It's you.
Yeah.
Kalau buat gue sih nggak tahu ya, karena gue dari dulu menyadari, jadi 2 tahun gue bekerja, gue tahu kalau being an employee is not my thing. It's not gonna be my thing.
Yeah.
Kamu bukan orang korporat.
Bukan, sangat bukan, karena gue nggak suka harus kayak ngabisin hari gue di satu tempat, terus harus memberikan kayak apa ya, meskipun misalnya pekerjaan gue udah selesai, gue nggak boleh pulang gitu.
Yeah.
Kayak hal-hal kayak gitu tuh buat gue annoying gitu.
Have you ever done this?
Iya, iya dong. Kita mau mulai semua.
Oke.
Ya, gue employee di 2 tempat ya.
Oke.
Sempat di 2 tempat.
Yeah.
Both sucks. Tapi
How old were you when you were in those companies?
when I was 22 until
Okay.
25 ya.
So
kayaknya.
fresh out of
26, ya.
college, yeah.
Kayaknya 1 sampai kira-kira 4 tahun lah.
Ya.
Dan saat itu ya gue sadar betul kalau being an employee gue nggak akan bisa tuh begitu gitu, karena juga menurut gue ada hal-hal yang gue nggak suka liatnya gitu, kayak dia cuma nggak suka sama yang ini karena ya udah it's likes and dislikes aja gitu, kayak gue nggak suka aja sama nih orang gitu karena ini begini, terus nanti ada kayak social gap gitu, si ini anak orang kaya, yang ini nggak suka, yang ini punya kehidupan sosial jauh lebih berkembang, yang kayak gitu-gitu tuh gue nggak bisa. Belum lagi ada affairs, ada ini, ada itu. No, I cannot deal with that. No. Kayak menurut gue jadinya sekarang gue sangat nyaman menjadi pekerja profesional karena gue bisa masuk ke satu project, bekerja secara profesional, gue nggak perlu tahu tetek bengeknya, dia punya anak 15 juga gue nggak tahu gitu kan. Kalau gue mau nanya bisa, cuman gue nggak perlu tahu hal itu gitu, karena gue nggak perlu berduaan terus sama orang ini gitu. Jadi gue bisa kayak bekerja dengan begitu banyak orang dan gue tahu seperlunya aja tentang orang ini, dan I can keep it very professional. And it works for me until now gitu. Jadi gue nggak bisa tuh yang disuruh nongkrong terus kayak nggak jelas, buang-buang waktu, terus kayak hai, terus kayak cowel dikit, enggak, no, cannot, no, never, nggak akan.
Inez's voice is like the one, remember in TikTok, like, oh yeah, you can talk to girls, and then the girls like,
Ya, tapi itu ada bener ya kan. Karena kayak gue nih, gue kerja sebagai dalam tanda kutip kan sekarang part-timer di sebuah korporasi kan gitu kan.
Freelancers,
Like freelancers
right?
in a
Yes.
corporation.
Yeah.
So I come in, I do the hours and I finish and I get out.
God bless us.
And God bless me for never hearing any gossip. Kayak gue tuh tipe orang yang kayak nggak pernah denger dan peduli. Dan untungnya karena gue nggak peduli, jadi mungkin nggak pernah nyampe ke gue juga kali ya, nggak ada yang mau cerita sama gue.
Tapi ini kayaknya alasan kenapa gue selalu membawa buku ke semua tempat dan membawa headphone gue ke semua tempat.
Yeah.
There are some things yang gue nggak pengen tahu. Jangan kasih tau gue.
Yeah, but not really. I think in this case, if she has to be at 9 to 5, and then there's this window that she really needs to work, let's say like us, for 3 hours. So then for the rest, 5 hours, she needs to be there with the people that probably I can do something more valuable with my time. That I don't have to be there.
Writing or something gitu. I like painting, di rumah aja yuk gitu.
Yeah, but that's exactly it gitu loh. The luxury of not wanting to go to office politics. Gue tuh setujunya karena sama sih. Karena gue juga udah ngerasain. Belum kalau itu multinational, nanti ada superiority, inferiority kompleksnya. Oh my goodness Lord gitu lah. Meskipun itu nggak bisa dihindari sih sebenarnya ya. Tapi at the same time, nggak kok bisa gue menghindar sampai dengan detik ini.
Ines is always with her coffee book, her headphones, and her peanuts. Nice.
Yes.
Bye guys.
The Shahnaz starter pack.
Her avocados.
Yes.
Tapi mungkin office politics itu kita perlu definisi baru kali ya. Karena selama lebih dari 15 tahun gue bekerja gitu ya. Apakah dulu di News Corporation gitu. Dulu gue juga sama kayak lu Nas. Yang maksudnya gue gak peduli deh. Gue gak bisa lah kongko-kongko. Abis gue selesai kerja ya udah gue langsung pulang gitu. Gue gak bisa kongko-kongko sama rekan kerja. Tapi makin nambah umur. Definisi office politics gue tuh lebih ke kadang-kadang untuk spend time. Duduk sebentar aja paling 15 menit sama kolega gitu ya. dan mengenal mereka itu gue enjoy. Dan itu menurut gue bahkan bisa jadi pelumas untuk kita bekerja dan berkolaborasi lebih baik. Kayak misalnya sama you ladies gitu ya.
It's because you're very positive.
No, but here's the thing. What I realize is, yang kadang-kadang gue nggak suka adalah mau itu freelancer atau nggak freelancer gitu. There are people who are very confident about their values, very confident about their ability to contribute. That they don't feel the need to stay and like, hi gitu kan. Kadang-kadang orang kan office politics is also about how you get to the next level gitu kan. It's the play on how you get to the next level, and a lot of people do it differently. And a lot of gue merasa kayak gue nggak butuh yang seperti itu gitu. Maksudnya kayak kalau gue bisa memberikan yang terbaik dan lo melihat gue memberikan yang terbaik, alhamdulillah, dan itu buat gue udah cukup.
Jadi based on credibility aja.
Based on credibility gitu. Kadang-kadang ada juga yang masih merasa kayak kalau gue nggak, dalam tanda kutip, present di situ, kalau dia nggak melihat gue di luar ini, nggak temenan gitu kan, gue nanti kemungkinan nggak akan lanjut lagi, atau gue akan kemungkinan nggak akan dapat opportunity gitu kan.
Ya
Nah,
memang
itu maksud gue
realitanya,
gitu.
ya memang betul. Realitanya memang ada yang seperti itu ya. But I guess, we can, I don't know.
I'm gonna give you my 2 cents.
Go on.
Please do.
But you know, I think one that triggers me the most is people when, I think this is office politics and also a drama, because there are people there that can just like kiss ass.
I love that
Like,
you just directly said
of
it. I
course.
had to be diplomatic about it.
Kiss ass tuh contohnya apa sih kiss ass?
Coba.
Like,
Kiss ass, lick ass.
maybe they're not values, maybe they're not there yet in their competence, but they can sweet talk you, right? Yeah. And there's a lot of people, especially from Gen Zs or boomers, right? They like that. Like, okay, you're
Gen
nice
Z sama boomer suka.
I think so.
So Gen
Like,
Zs and boomers. Okay.
Boomer jauh lagi di atas lagi.
I think that's why.
Because Gen Zs want it the easy way, right?
Iya, betul.
Usually it's I mean,
Like,
not
you'd be
all,
nice
but
to
like
me. It's like not more of like, okay, let's say to be an MC, there's like 3 girls, right? And then they all are, their competence is okay, they're equally the same. But let's say one is very direct, never smile, not a people person. And then there's one that probably right in the middle, and there's one that could be really nice.
Like a cat.
And oh, you look so good today, ma'am. I mean, I love, what blush on are you using? Like, you have to tell me because you look so spectacular. I want to be like pretty like you.
whoa.
That person most probably will
gonna
get
get
the job. Right.
That's Indonesia, man.
Yeah, it's not generational. It's cultural.
Yeah. And that, I felt that more here.
Yeah.
I can feel it more here.
Iya, karena kamu besar di Amerika Serikat ya.
and
Beda gaya.
And I'm like,
You're not
dang
used to
I
it.
can't say it because I don't like the blush on.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, what am I supposed to do? That's standing there rolling her eyes like
Tapi kadang ya maksud gue ada juga beberapa orang yang emang suka kan digituin. Tapi kalau gue sendiri ya merasa itu tuh ganggu banget, bahkan gue nggak suka digituin, ngerti nggak sih?
Res gitu.
Kayak gue tuh merasa gitu, misalnya ada orang baru terus dia mencoba deketin gue kan, kamu ininya lucu banget, kamu enggak.
Akhirnya jadi podcast juga waktu itu.
No, but it's an experience that I felt like I've seen this. I mean, that person doesn't necessarily bad to me, but I felt like because she's very beautiful. I mean, and she has this long hair or whatnot. I mean, if I would do the mistake that she would done, I would be fired.
Tapi itu tuh talent atau skill menurut kalian?
I think a little bit of both. But I don't like. Would you use that in an office, in a work environment space?
Depends on
That
your
really
principles and values,
shows.
right?
Yeah, that really shows kind of like the
quality.
quality of that person.
Kalau buat bahasa Gen Z itu, it's the pick me person. Like dia sini, I'm better than everyone. Nggak, tapi kadang-kadang it's not even langsung kayak ngedeketin hi gitu, tapi kayak sengaja just coming into the space where these targeted people are at gitu loh. Kayak yang penting gue kelihatan supaya dia ngeliat gue.
Like a kitty,
Atau
like you know
kayak
that
hampers
kitty.
aja gitu kadang-kadang gitu kan. I have this conflicting feeling karena gue merasa kayak kalau gue kirim hampers ke senior gue tuh mereka mikir apa ya? Kayak misalnya kayak gitu tuh.
Ampun sampai segitu.
Iya, karena gue takut it's a conflict of my ethical interest gitu. Gue nggak mau mereka berpikir bahwa gue tuh ngirim hampers karena gue pengen sesuatu dari mereka gitu loh.
Jadi gue gak bisa ngirim hampers ke kalian gitu?
Bukan. Udah cinta sama kamu terserah kamu ya.
Kalau ini kan kita udah.
Asal jangan santet.
Iya, kalau ini. Nah maksud gue kan karena this is, I'm acquainted to that person.
Yes.
But I'm not friends with that person gitu loh.
Oh, and sometimes if you don't give the hampers, then they'll say, oh, these people already give the hampers, but you didn't give the hampers.
Apalagi sekarang bisa di post ya di story. Aku dikirimin loh sama dia.
Oh pantesan gue gak dapet hampers banyak karena gue gak bisa ngepost.
Jadi yang ngirimin ke lo emang tulus mau ngirim ke lo.
Gak apa-apa, I'll still send you the sandwich.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll still send you the sandwich.
Wow. Yeah, no, I really,
What do you
I
think,
just,
KB?
yeah.
Mind blowing, huh?
I mean, I've never been really exposed to that because I love hampers. Just office politics because I think for the longest time I was doing freelance and when I do work it's remote, so I've never had that direct interaction with my colleagues that way. But yeah, so it's just really interesting to hear all your perspectives on this. Yours especially, Carol, with so much
You're
grit.
a part of it too before, by the way.
Yes. So, one last thing before we wrap this up, after, we've discussed so much about intergenerational work ethic. For you guys, what is the good work ethic according to you now? Now, where you are at this stage in your career.
Deliver. Jadi kalau misalnya kita dikasih tugas apa ya deliver it gitu. Itu nggak bisa diganggu gugat sih. Karena ya itu aku rasa itu bisa memfasilitasi berbagai generasi ya. Selama lo menyelesaikan apa yang gue minta, lo mau kerja di gunung, mau kerja di pantai, nggak peduli. Yang penting KPI tercapai. Udah.
I like that. Agreed.
For me it's discipline. On time, lo menghargai gue menghargai lo.
I like that.
Jadi disiplin.
For me, it's gotta be accountability, integrity. Because it doesn't matter where you're working from, but you can sense the present accountability. Kayak lo jangan ngilang ya, gitu.
Yeah, that's so nice.
Maksud gue kayak ya deliver. Ya, tapi kalau gue butuh sesuatu kayak when I ask you an update gitu, lo juga please kasih tahu gue. Kayak gue nggak peduli lo lagi sambil pilates sambil dipijet pun gitu ya. Sambil tidur.
Tapi jawab gitu.
Jawab gitu.
Yes.
Within like 1 or 2 hour range lah.
Yeah.
So accountability, integrity, very important.
For me, it's like push yourself because you were working with a bunch of people collaboratively. I think you will probably not be the same as the person next to you. And don't get yourself down if you're not in the same kind of level as that person because every day is a learning process. It is a journey and, find your best self at the end of the day. Because when you work, yes, it's we're looking for that, some amount of money at the end of the month, but you also can value yourself, what you can give to that certain institution or that company,
Give and
right?
take,
Yeah, because when that person chooses you, it means that you already gained their respect and they already appreciate what you can deliver. So deliver the best and push yourself.
I love that.
Yeah. Don't just jump to another pool.
What about you
Or
though?
another fish. Yeah.
KB?
Oh, me too. Oh,
Of course.
I think for me, it's really, I think, you used it, Kai, but I think for the longest time, integrity has been sort of my North Star in my career. No matter what job I'm in, what project I'm doing, you got to have integrity. And that's how people will respect you, right?
Yes.
You do your best and you have that responsibility to do your job well, to give your 100% when you are there. And back to what you said, Carol, give and take. You are compensated for your good job. And in return, you do the best that you can.
Moral compass.
Moral compass.
Yes.
Exactly. All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much for all of that. And for our viewers, we'd love to hear your stories. Some may be crazy office stories. We're all here for it.
Yes.
And if you could drop by in the comments and share what your work ethic is, we'd love to hear it. Thanks again. And we'll see you on our next episode of In Her View.
Later. Probably that person that we've been talking about is like ringing on her ear right now. She's like, who's talking about me today in the morning?
Sebut nama.
Jadi podcast sama dia. Bener ya? Jadi podcast, dia lebih muda dari lo ya?
Babe, she just turned 25.
Don't forget to
Like, subscribe,
Comment and share.